this is my test case, and if you want to like execute it, want to check that whether it is getting executed properly or not. So you can try to execute it also. Okay, so Orange HRM is open, admin, clicking on to the login button. Then after that, clicking on to the logout link, and now you are logged out properly. Okay, now suppose say in this verify element present, I want to do some changes in this particular command. Okay, so if I change any of the thing in this verify element present in the target, okay, so it should not match with the things that are present over there actually into the application, right? So if I add something, or suppose say if I delete some of the text from here, so it should throw an error message, correct? So suppose say now I am like making a spelling mistake over here for welcome. Okay, so in spite of WELCOME, I have taken out E over here. Okay, and now this is my step. Now try to execute it. Okay, you are logged out of the application, but there is an error message also which is shown in the log. You can see that there is an error message also, since you are getting a, that is false. Okay, and you are also getting a red symbol over here, which means that there is some defect. But if there was a defect, it should have stopped with the execution, but it has not stopped with the execution. How are you able to guess that it has not stopped with the execution? Because after this verify element present only, there is a link, like we have clicked onto the link of logout, okay, and we are getting logged out. So if we are getting logged out, this means that the furthermore steps which are coming after verify element present, those are executed. Okay, and also the other way to see around that is, we discussed yesterday that what all steps would be executed, that would be coming under green if they are executed, if they are past steps. Okay, so they are coming in green. Okay, so this means that if you are using the verification command, I have used the verify element present command. Okay, over there, if there is a problem which is encountered, if there is a defect which is encountered, okay, so it will throw the error message, but it would not stop with the execution. It will continue with the execution of the further steps. Okay, now suppose say I'm not using verify over here, I'm using assert. So in assert also there is a command as assert element present. Okay, and now you try to execute it. I have corrected the name as ID equal to welcome, okay, which I explicitly have incorrected in the previous case. So now you're getting logged out because this welcome and the test case is also passed. Can you see over here all the steps are in green? Okay, and also over here it is shown in green, which means that the test case has passed. Okay, because ID is equal to the correct name of welcome or the correct spelling of welcome. Now again in this one also, if I give it wrong, okay, and now if I try to execute it, see what is going to happen. it has stopped with the execution. See, and you are also not logged out of the application. What does this mean? This means that if you are using the assert command, okay, and if there is a problem, if there is a defect in the assert command, in any of the assert command, then it would stop with the execution over there itself, okay, and it is not executing the further steps. That is the reason you are stuck over here in the middle of the application. You are not logged out also, which you were getting logged out in the verification commands, though there was an error. Okay, so this is the basic difference between the assert and the verification command. Now you would say that if both of the commands are there to validate the application, how would you be able to figure out that when to use which type of command, when to use the assert command and when to use the verification commands? See, when to use the verification and when to use the assertion command, I would say that it entirely depends upon the test case that you are working upon. Okay, so you need to figure out over there itself that what would be the best option for you. Okay, but in order to like just give you a knowledge that where you can give the verification and where you can use the assertion command, see, wherein you need to navigate from one page to another, as in over here. Okay, take this example. If suppose say I need to check for this send button, okay, and due to some reason this compose email is not getting loaded. Okay, maybe there is a problem. Okay, so in order to check, because you would be able to check the send button only if the compose page is getting opened up. Okay, and but before also that you are getting logged in into the application. Now suppose say you are getting stuck after login. The compose page is not getting opened. Logically speaking, if that compose page is not getting loaded up, okay, will you be able to check the send button? No, you won't be able to check. So what type of command should you use over here? Whether you should use the verification or the assertion commands? For developing a script for checking the send button functionality, if you are developing a script for that. What about others? I'm not getting answers from everyone. Yes, Pachai? What should be the type of command that I should be using? See, I would again repeat my question. If I need to check for this send button functionality, okay, and suppose say this compose page is not getting loaded up. Sometimes it is getting loaded up, okay, and sometimes due to like maybe extra load on the website, it is not getting loaded up also. Okay, then which type of command should I use to check the send button? Whether I should use the verification command or whether I should use the assertion command? Correct, assertion. Some of you said verification in the beginning. That is the reason I again explained the scenario to you. See, if you are navigating from one page to another, so you need to first make sure that the page that you are navigating to, it is getting loaded properly, and each and everything that you want to see over here or you want to check over there, that is present. Okay, if I need to check the send button, I need to first verify, or I need to first validate that the send button is present, and it is like it is present over there in that compose mail. Okay, if suppose that compose mail or that compose page itself is not getting loaded, how are you able to check the send button? So there is no point of executing the script of the send button if there is no compose page getting loaded. Okay, so I should use the assertion commands, because if I am using the assertion command, if the compose page is not getting loaded up, it will stop with the execution, because it does not make any sense to execute the further steps or the further script for send button if you are using the verification command. Okay, so are you clear that why we are using the assertion commands? Okay, so in any of the web-based application wherein you are navigating from one page to another, okay, and you need to check that whether that button or that link or the text box that you need to check in this navigating page, that is present or not, then you should use the assertion commands. Okay, if you have to navigate from one page to another. If you are checking for a single page only, suppose say I have to check for this page, I am on to this page of Orange HRM. I am welcomed as admin. I want to see that whether this search button is present or not, this reset button is present or not, add and delete buttons are present or not, these text boxes are present or not. Okay, so I'm not navigating from one page to another, so it does not really matter for me if I'm using the verification commands also over here, because if we are using the verification command, though it will throw an error message if there is a problem, but it will continue for checking the other text boxes and the other buttons. Okay, so if there would be an error message, I would be easily be able to figure out that what the problem was and where was it, because I am only on to a single page. Okay, but if you are navigating from one page to another, then to find out where actually the problem was, okay, and if you are using the verification command, okay, though it will throw an error message, but it will continue with the execution, then again you will have to do a research on the things that where actually the thing went wrong, where the problem was, because it continued with the execution of the other steps, then where the problem lied actually. Okay, so if you are navigating from one page to another, if you are checking for those things, then use the assertion commands. If you are checking the fields and the functionalities and the buttons and everything of a single page, then it is recommended and it is good to use the verification commands only. Okay, clear with this thing? So after this, the third type of command that we have to use, or that is categorized, is the wait for commands. See, basically it is used for synchronization between the application and the Selenium IDE. See over here. See, there could be a possibility that due to n number of reasons, due to some extra load on the application is running slow. Or maybe due to the internet speed also, sometimes the application may run slow. Okay, so when the page has to be loaded up, okay, when we are navigating from one page to another, then it may take some time. Okay, and if during that time the script that you have recorded over here, the script that is being recorded over here, okay, though the script is correct, but if there is a navigation problem, like if your if your pages are taking time to load up, okay, then there could be a possibility that your application is lagging behind and your script is running fast. Okay, so if your script is running fast, it won't be able to, suppose say like we have clicked on, we have given the correct username as admin in the orange HRM, okay, clicked on to the login button, but due to extra load on this application, the it it took some time to load up. Okay, whereas in the script, the next step which was given as it has to check that whether this welcome admin is present or not. But since the application didn't load it up, okay, so the script run fast, or you can say the script run ahead of this application, okay, and it was not able to find this welcome admin, nor it was able to find the logout link, because this page is actually not getting loaded up. It may be due to any of the reasons. So you need to make sure that your application and your Selenium IDE are in synchronization with each other. So Janya, I am explaining the third command only, that is wait for command. Do you want me to explain it? Okay, you lost my voice. Okay, let me explain it one more time. See, wait for commands, they are used just to make sure that your application which you are executing or which you are running on Mozilla Firefox and your Selenium IDE, they are running hand in hand. Okay, means they are in synchronization with each other. It should not be the case that your application is running slow, or you can say the application is lagging behind the Selenium IDE. What I mean to say over here is, due to n number of reasons, maybe due to extra load on the application. Okay, so I gave you the example like if there is a load on Orange HRM, okay, and you tried to open it, you gave the correct username, you gave the correct ID, okay, that is admin, and then you clicked onto the login button. Okay, then after that this page was to be loaded up. Okay, and you have recorded all the steps here previously only, so at that time your application was running fine. Okay, and then after that, after coming to this page, you have recorded the step for asserting that whether this welcome admin is present or not. Okay, same as in over here. Okay, and then after that you clicked onto the logout link and you get logged out. Okay, so these were the steps that you recorded. Okay, now while replaying it back, there may be a case that you typed the user ID, you typed the password, okay, you clicked onto the login button, but due to extra load on this Orange HRM, it took some time to get loaded, okay, to log on into the, or you can say to come to the home page. Okay, now since it took time, over here the script, it was running at the same speed as it was running previously. Okay, so it executed the next step. And what is the next step after clicking onto the button? So the next step is asserting that whether that welcome admin is present or not. Okay, now since this welcome admin is not present because the page is actually not loaded up, okay, and also there is no logout also because this page is not loaded up, so this script would be fail, though it was a correct script, but due to the problem like this page was not loaded up, so it was not able to verify, or it was not able to assert that welcome admin is present or not. So your application is lagging behind your Selenium IDE. This should not be the case because it may lead to the failure of the correct script also. Okay, so this is the reason we need to use the wait for commands. Okay, now see in Selenium IDE also, by default also there is a wait time which is provided. Okay, so this is the wait time which is by default over here in Selenium. Okay, whenever you are navigating from one page to another, so it is waiting for 30,000 millisecond. Can you all see over here onto my screen? Okay, so whenever you are clicking onto any of the button, say as in we are clicking on the login button, okay, then Selenium also know that it is used for checking the web-based application. So if you have to navigate from one page to another, it will take some time. So by default in Selenium IDE, that default time which is set over here is 30,000 millisecond. So this is the reason that over here, okay. So this is the reason over here you are not getting the command only as click. You are getting it as click and wait. Okay, after clicking onto the login button, I know you won't be able to follow each and everything which is present over here, okay, since we have not discussed about it, but let me tell you that what does this command mean. Click and wait, and where you have to wait or where you have to click onto the button which is named as login. So just try to understand this only for this time. Okay, so you are clicking onto the login button, okay, and then after that you need to wait also. So by default Selenium is going to wait for 30,000 millisecond. Yes, Hasna, you can like move the application or execute the application in the slow pace also, but this is not like we are executing the application in the slow pace because I want to tell you how the steps are getting executed. Okay, the main purpose of using the automation tool is only we have to do the things quickly. Okay, so there is no point in just slowing down the pace of the application. It does not make any sense. We are using it because we want to understand each and everything, how the steps are being performed at background, in the main application. Okay, but this thing does not solve any of the problems. Okay. Okay. So over here by default Selenium is going to wait for 30,000 millisecond, and if you want to make it wait for some more time, then you can add one more step over here and can add the command. But we'll discuss about how to add the command, because if you have to add the command then you need to know all the steps over here, which we would be discussing. I think we can discuss for now. We have some time left, so we can start discussing about those things also. Okay, then after that I'll tell you how to use this wait for commands, and then after that the last set of command is the store command. Okay, so over here in store commands also we are going to store the values in some variables and then we are going to use it. So these two commands I'll tell you how to use it after some time. Okay, but before that we need to discuss about that panel which is present over there. Okay, so we need to discuss about this thing, this particular panel. So let me try to explain it to you.